Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The hospital room is filled with the scent of antiseptic and the soft, constant beeping of monitors. I stand beside my wife, Emma, cradling our newborn son, Ethan, in my arms. His tiny fists flail, and his face scrunches up in that way newborns do when they're trying to figure out their new world. But it's his hair that catches my eye, vibrant red, a striking contrast to Emma's chestnut brown and my own dark brown hair. It's amazing how genetics work, Emma says, her voice tired but filled with a mother's love. My grandmother had red hair, you know. Maybe he got it from her. I nod absently, staring at the fiery locks. Emma's grandmother. I vaguely remember a black and white photograph of an old woman with sharp features, but her hair color never registered. The seed of doubt plants itself in my mind, small and seemingly insignificant. But seeds grow. A week later, we're home, and Ethan's cries punctuate the night. Emma is in the nursery, trying to soothe him, and I'm on my laptop, mindlessly scrolling through my email. The doubt, however, festers. I find myself searching for information about genetics, wondering how likely it is for a trait like red hair to skip generations. The more I read, the more uncertain I become. I decide to talk to Emma about it. Maybe she can ease my mind. I find her in the living room, rocking Ethan to sleep. Emma, I start, trying to keep my tone casual. I've been thinking about what you said about your grandmother. Can you tell me more about her? Emma looks up, her eyes slightly wary. Sure. Why? Just curious. I don't remember ever seeing a picture of her with red hair. She had it when she was young, Emma replies quickly. By the time I was old enough to notice, it had turned white. Why are you asking? I shrug, trying to seem nonchalant. No reason, really. Just trying to understand where Ethan's hair came from. She gives me a strange look but doesn't press further. Yet, the way she avoids my eyes makes the doubt grow. It gnaws at me, making me question everything. A few days later, I find myself standing in a pharmacy, staring at the paternity test kits behind the counter. The cashier rings up my purchase without a second glance, and I feel a rush of guilt and anticipation. At home, I wait until Emma is out running errands before I swab Ethan's cheek and my own, sealing the samples in the provided envelope. The wait is excruciating. Each day feels like a lifetime as I go through the motions of work and family life, the envelope's absence a constant reminder of my doubts. Finally, the results arrive. I sit at the kitchen table, the unopened envelope in front of me. My heart pounds as I tear it open and read the contents. My vision blurs as the words sink in, probability of paternity, 0%. The world tilts, and I feel like I'm falling. I read the results again, hoping I've made a mistake, but the outcome is clear. Ethan is not my son. The truth hits me like a freight train. Emma had cheated on me. That evening, I confront her. She's in the nursery, humming softly to Ethan. Emma, I say, my voice strained. We need to talk. She looks up, her expression wary. What's wrong? I took a paternity test. Her eyes widen, and she takes a step back. Why would you do that? Because I needed to know the truth. I hold up the test results. Ethan isn't mine, Emma. Who is his father? Emma's face pales, and she starts to stammer. I don't know what to say. Just tell me the truth, I demand, my voice rising. Who did you sleep with? Tears fill her eyes, and she collapses onto the rocking chair. It was a mistake, Alex. I was lonely, and you were always working late. It just happened once, I swear. Who? I press, my anger barely contained. His name is Mark. He's someone I met at the gym. I never meant for it to go this far. Please, Alex, you have to believe me. I feel a bitter laugh escape my lips. Believe you? You lied to me, Emma. You've been lying this whole time. Please, Alex, she begs, tears streaming down her face. Don't do this. We can work through this. Ethan needs you. But I can't hear her. All I can see is the betrayal, the lies. I turn and leave the room, the sound of Ethan's cries echoing in my ears. In the days that follow, I make plans. I know I can't stay with Emma. The trust is shattered, and there's no way to fix it. But I'm not just going to walk away. I need to teach her a lesson, make her understand the pain she's caused. I start by contacting a lawyer, beginning the process of filing for divorce and ensuring I get what's rightfully mine. But that's just the beginning. Emma's going to learn that actions have consequences. She betrayed me, and now she'll face the repercussions. As I pack my things, I can hear her sobbing in the other room. It's a sound that once would have broken my heart, but now it only steals my resolve. This is just the beginning. She'll pay for what she's done, and when it's all over, I'll walk away for good. As I close the door behind me, leaving my old life behind, I know one thing for sure: this isn't the end. It's just the start of a new chapter, one where I take control and reclaim my life. Emma thought she could betray me and get away with it. She was wrong. I step out into the cool evening air, the weight of betrayal heavy on my shoulders. The neighborhood is quiet, and the only sound is the rustling of leaves in the wind. I walk to my car, my mind racing with thoughts of revenge. Emma's sobs still echo in my mind, but they only fuel my resolve. This isn't over. It's just the beginning. I drive to the office of Mark, the man who shattered my life. I did some digging and found out where he works. I park a block away, not wanting to be seen, and make my way to the building. It's a sleek, modern structure, a stark contrast to the chaos brewing inside me. I take a deep breath and enter the lobby, my eyes scanning the directory for his name. There it is, Mark Reynolds, Senior Fitness Trainer. I head to the elevator, my pulse quickening with each floor I ascend. When I reach the gym, I see him, effortlessly charming a group of women with his perfect smile and chiseled physique. I wait until he's alone, then approach him. Mark Reynolds. He turns, surprised. Yeah, that's me. Can I help you? You already have, I say, my voice steady. You slept with my wife. His face pales, and he glances around nervously. Look, man, I didn't know she was married. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it, I snap. You destroyed my life. Now, I'm going to destroy yours. Before he can respond, I walk away, my heart pounding. It's a start, but it's not enough. I need more. I need to ensure he feels the same pain I do. I return home late, hoping to avoid another confrontation with Emma. She's in the living room, her eyes red and puffy from crying. Alex, please. Can't we talk about this? There's nothing to talk about, I say coldly. I've filed for divorce. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Alex, please, she begs, her voice breaking. For Ethan's sake, let's try to work this out. You should have thought about Ethan before you cheated, I retort, and head to the guest room. I need space to think, to plan my next move. The next day, I call my best friend, Jason. We've known each other since college, and he's the only person I can trust right now. Hey, Jason. Can we meet up? I need to talk. Sure, man, he says, sounding concerned. Is everything okay? No, I admit. I'll explain when we meet. We agree to meet at our favorite bar. When I arrive, Jason is already there, nursing a beer. He looks up, his expression serious. What's going on, Alex? I sit down, and the words spill out. I tell him everything: Ethan's red hair, the paternity test, Emma's betrayal, and my encounter with Mark. By the time I'm finished, Jason is shaking his head in disbelief. "Man, I'm so sorry," he says. "I can't believe Emma did this to you. What are you going to do?" "I'm going to make them both pay," I say, my voice hard. "Emma for betraying me and Mark for ruining my family." Jason nods slowly. "I get it. But you need to be smart about this. You don't want to do anything that could get you in trouble." "I know," I reply. "That's why I need your help." Jason leans in, his eyes serious. "Whatever you need, I'm here for you." "Thanks, man," I say, feeling a glimmer of hope. "I have a plan, but I need to be careful. I can't afford any mistakes." Over the next few weeks, I put my plan into action. I start by gathering information on Mark. I learn he has a reputation for getting involved with married women. It's a pattern, and I'm going to use it against him. I create a fake social media profile, posing as a woman interested in fitness. I start messaging Mark, flirting and building a connection. It doesn't take long for him to take the bait. We exchange messages, and I suggest meeting up. He's eager, clearly thinking he's found another conquest. We arrange to meet at a hotel, and I make sure everything is in place to expose him. Meanwhile, I keep my distance from Emma. We barely speak, and when we do, it's through our lawyers. I focus on Ethan, trying to be the best father I can, despite everything. It's not his fault, and he deserves better. The day of the meeting arrives. I'm nervous, but determined. I set up hidden cameras in the hotel room, ready to capture everything. When Mark arrives, I stay hidden, watching as he waits. I send him a message, saying I'm running late, and watch as he becomes increasingly frustrated. Finally, I reveal myself. Looking for someone. Mark's eyes widen in shock. "You? What the hell are you doing here?" "I told you, Mark. I'm going to destroy you," I say, stepping forward. "I've recorded everything. Your reputation, your career, it's all over." Mark pales, his bravado disappearing. "Please, don't do this." "I'll do anything." "Too late for that," I reply. "This is just the beginning." As I leave the hotel, I feel a sense of satisfaction. It's not over, but it's a start. Emma and Mark will both pay for what they've done. And when it's all over, I'll walk away, leaving the ruins of their lives behind. Back home, I find Emma waiting for me. She looks exhausted, her face drawn with worry. "Alex, we need to talk." "There's nothing to talk about," I say, brushing past her. "Please," she insists, following me. "For Ethan's sake." I stop and turn to face her. "You had your chance, Emma. You threw it away. Now, you'll face the consequences." She collapses onto the couch, sobbing. But I don't feel pity. Only determination. This is far from over. It's just the beginning of my plan to reclaim my life and make them pay for their betrayal. And I won't stop until justice is served. The sun rises slowly over the horizon, casting a golden hue over the city. I've barely slept, my mind buzzing with the events of the previous night. The satisfaction of confronting Mark lingers, but I know this is just the beginning. I've set the wheels in motion, and now I need to see it through. I head to the kitchen, the smell of fresh coffee filling the air. Emma is already there, looking worn and defeated. She doesn't say anything as I pour myself a cup and sit at the table. The silence between us is heavy, filled with unspoken accusations and broken trust. I break the silence first. "I want to make one thing clear, Emma. This isn't about revenge anymore. This is about making sure you understand the consequences of your actions. She looks up, her eyes red from crying. I know I made a mistake, Alex. But you can't just keep punishing me. We have to find a way to move forward for Ethan's sake. We'll talk about it later, I say, my voice cold. Right now, I have to get to work. I leave the house, the tension still thick in the air. At the office, I try to focus on my tasks, but my mind keeps drifting back to Emma and Mark. I can't let them get away with what they've done. I need to take it further. During my lunch break, I call Jason. Hey, man. Can we meet up tonight? I have something I need to discuss with you. Sure, Alex. Same place as usual. Yeah. See you at 8. That evening, I arrive at the bar, and Jason is already there, a beer in hand. I join him, and we catch up for a bit before I get to the point. I need your help with something, I say, lowering my voice. I want to expose Mark's pattern of behavior. He's been doing this to other families, not just mine. Jason nods slowly. What's the plan? I've already got some dirt on him, but I need more. I want to gather testimonials from other women he's seduced and ruined. We can use that to make sure he never does this again. Jason leans back, considering my words. That's a tall order, but I'm in. How do you want to start? We need to find those women. I'm thinking of setting up a support group online, anonymously. We can use it to gather stories and evidence. Jason nods, a determined look in his eyes. I'll help you set it up. Let's make sure this guy pays. Over the next few days, we work on creating the support group. We design a website, keeping it discreet and professional. We spread the word on social media, targeting fitness communities where Mark is likely to have left his mark. The response is slow at first, but eventually, the stories start to trickle in. Women from all over the city share their experiences, each one echoing the same pattern of deceit and betrayal. We gather their testimonials, building a case against Mark. Meanwhile, things at home remain tense. Emma tries to reach out, to mend the rift between us, but I'm not ready to forgive. Not yet. One evening, I come home to find Emma sitting in the living room, a determined look on her face. Alex, we need to talk. Now. I sigh, setting my briefcase down. What is it, Emma? I've been thinking a lot about what you said. About consequences. I know I hurt you, and I know I need to make it right. But we can't keep living like this. It's not good for Ethan, and it's not good for us. I sit down across from her, crossing my arms. So what do you suggest? I've decided to go to therapy. Alone and with you, if you're willing. I want to understand why I did what I did, and I want to fix this. For all of us. I study her for a moment, searching for any sign of deceit. But she seems sincere, her eyes pleading. All right, Emma. I'll consider it. But know this, it's going to take a lot for me to trust you again. She nods, relief washing over her face. Thank you, Alex. I'll do whatever it takes. As we work on our marriage, I continue my campaign against Mark. The support group grows, and soon we have enough evidence to take to the media. We contact a local journalist, Sarah, who has a reputation for exposing corruption and deceit. We meet with Sarah at a coffee shop, presenting our case. She listens intently, taking notes and asking questions. This is a solid story, she says finally. But I need more. I need to speak to some of these women directly. I nod. We can arrange that. They're willing to come forward, but they're scared. Mark has a lot of influence. I understand, Sarah says. But if we want to take him down, we need their voices. I'll set up interviews and make sure they're protected. Over the next few weeks, Sarah conducts her interviews, gathering more evidence. The day the article is published, it makes headlines. Mark's reputation is shattered, his career in ruins. He tries to deny the allegations, but the weight of the evidence is too much. At home, Emma and I slowly begin to rebuild our relationship. Therapy is helping, and we start to communicate more openly. It's a long road, but we're making progress. One evening, as we sit on the porch, watching Ethan play in the yard, Emma turns to me. "Thank you, Alex, for giving us another chance." I nod, squeezing her hand. "It's not going to be easy, but we'll get through this together." As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over our home, I feel a sense of peace. The road ahead is still uncertain, but for the first time in months, I feel hopeful. We've faced the storm, and now it's time to rebuild, stronger than before. And as for Mark, he's learned that actions have consequences. He thought he could play with people's lives and get away with it. He was wrong. And I made sure he paid for every lie, every deceit. The weeks pass, and life slowly starts to regain some semblance of normalcy. Therapy sessions with Emma become a regular part of our routine, and we begin to talk more openly about our feelings and the future. Despite the progress, there's still a lingering tension, a shadow that refuses to dissipate. One evening, after a particularly grueling therapy session, I find myself alone in the living room, nursing a glass of whiskey. The house is quiet, save for the occasional creak of the floorboards and the distant hum of the refrigerator. My thoughts drift back to everything that's happened, the betrayal, the revenge, the efforts to rebuild. Suddenly, my phone buzzes with a new message. It's from Sarah, the journalist who helped expose Mark. "Sarah, Alex, we need to talk. I found something else. It's important. Can you meet me at the coffee shop tomorrow?" A sense of unease settles over me. What else could there be? I reply quickly, agreeing to meet her. The next day, I arrive at the coffee shop, my mind racing with possibilities. Sarah is already there, a serious expression on her face. "Thanks for coming, Alex," she says, motioning for me to sit. "What's this about, Sarah? What did you find?" She takes a deep breath, her eyes locking onto mine. "It's about Emma." I feel a chill run down my spine. "What about her?" While I was digging into Mark's background, I found something that didn't add up. So I dug deeper. It turns out, Mark wasn't the only one Emma was involved with. My heart sinks. "What do you mean?" Sarah hands me a folder. Emma had an affair with another man before Mark. His name is David, and he works at a law firm downtown. I have proof that they were together for almost a year. I open the folder, my hands trembling. Inside are emails, photos, and even hotel receipts. The evidence is irrefutable. I feel a surge of anger and betrayal. Emma's deceit runs deeper than I ever imagined. "How did you find this?" I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. "I followed a hunch," Sarah says. "Something about Emma's behavior didn't sit right with me." "I'm sorry, Alex." I sit back, the weight of the new revelation crashing down on me. "Thank you for telling me, Sarah. I need to confront Emma." That evening, I return home, my mind a whirlwind of emotions. Emma is in the kitchen, preparing dinner, and Ethan is playing in the living room. I take a deep breath and walk up to her. "Emma, we need to talk." She looks up, sensing the seriousness in my tone. "What's wrong, Alex?" "I met with Sarah today. She found out about David." Emma's face turns pale, and she drops the knife she's holding. "Alex, I can explain." "Explain what?" I cut her off, my voice rising. "That you've been lying to me for even longer than I thought. That you've had multiple affairs." Tears well up in her eyes. "It wasn't like that, Alex. I was lonely, and you were always working. David was there for me when you weren't. I laugh bitterly. And that justifies cheating. Twice. It was a mistake, she pleads. I love you, Alex. I never wanted to hurt you. You've destroyed everything, I say, my voice cold. I can't trust you anymore. I can't be with someone who's lied and cheated so much. What about Ethan? She cries. What about our family? I'll always be there for Ethan, I say firmly. But as for us, we're done. The words hang in the air, final and irrevocable. Emma collapses onto the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I turn away, unable to bear the sight, and walk out of the house. I find myself at Jason's place, needing the support of my oldest friend. He opens the door, concern etched on his face. Alex, what's going on? I tell him everything, from Sarah's revelation to the confrontation with Emma. Jason listens, his expression growing darker with every word. I can't believe she did this to you, he says finally. I'm so sorry, man. Me too, I reply, feeling a strange sense of relief. But it's over now. I need to move on. In the days that follow, I focus on Ethan and my work. I file for divorce, ensuring that Ethan's well-being is the priority. Emma and I barely speak, communicating only through our lawyers. The house feels emptier, but also lighter, free from the weight of deceit. One evening, as I'm tucking Ethan into bed, he looks up at me with his innocent eyes. Daddy, are you and Mommy going to be okay? I smile sadly, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. We'll always be here for you, buddy. That's what matters. As I close his bedroom door, I feel a sense of closure. The journey has been painful, filled with betrayal and heartache, but I've come out stronger. I've learned the value of honesty and the importance of trust. Months later, I receive a call from Sarah. Alex, I wanted to let you know that Mark's been fired and blacklisted from the industry. He won't be hurting anyone else. Thanks, Sarah, I say, genuinely grateful. For everything. As I hang up, I feel a sense of justice. Mark has paid for his actions, and so has Emma. I've lost a lot, but I've also gained clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Emma moves out, and we agree on joint custody of Ethan. The divorce is finalized, and we part ways, the love we once shared replaced by a mutual understanding of our differences. The hatred for the cheating lingers, but it no longer defines me. As I stand on the porch, watching the sunset, I feel a sense of peace. The storm has passed, and I'm ready to embrace whatever the future holds. It's a new beginning, and this time, I'm determined to build a life grounded in truth and integrity. And as for Emma, I hope she finds her own path to redemption. Our journey together has ended, but life goes on. And I'm ready to face it head on, with hope and determination in my heart.